Hey y'all, it's the Calm Corner Show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get into it. Hey Soul Family, back again. I'm Erica, your favorite Astro homegirl. And this one, guys, is going to be, and it might end up being 2 parts, so we'll get into it. But this one is going to be on 50 Cent. Okay. 50, Mr. Curtis Jackson. And we're going to talk about 50 versus Diddy, you know, Sean Combs. Of course, we're going to talk about in the Rap A Lot, I think that's the name, podcast that he been dealing with Maino. I think it's Dave East, Jim Jones, and the sort. So we're going to get down to business. And I think he even got into it with MARLON WAYANS, all right? So we're going to tap into that energy today. But welcome back for those of you guys that's been riding with me, okay? And welcome for all of you guys that are new here. So for my newbies, I always get into a little bit of the astrology first before we get down to business and get into the cards, because when I'm able to pull up the energy or current transits, it helps me better to understand and get the energy around the people and things, or person, place, or things that we're getting into and reading about in the cards. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, I pulled up a few of them, so I want to just take a quick look over. And I really don't want to go all the way into it because I've already done many readings on Puffy. And I did do, I think, one. I guess we do need to get into it because I've only done one on 50, and that was with him and I think Rick Ross, right? So, yeah, let's get into Mr. Jackson. Let's kind of go over him again because he is like, to me, I'm man, when I say I'm like Vivica, I guess it's the Leo thing, baby, because I done had me a long-term crush on my 50. Love him. He is crazy. He is emotional. But most importantly, he is diabolical. Okay? And I want to get into his placements real quick, you know, and take y'all up through there on why this man is who he is with his, he is a best. I love me some Curtis. He crazy as hell. Okay? And you know what? It's so crazy, guys. I've actually had the opportunity to meet him more than once. And on top of that, he is so sweet. That's why I was like, it's interesting. And I'm going to say something, and I wanted to say this too before I even get into his message, chart and energy around him. His energy, he vibrates very high. So if you're around him, what's interesting is that just in his energy and in his presence, you'll be motivated. It's the energy of inspiration, and it's not even to be spoken. I don't know if y'all ever met anybody like that, but the energy is very high vibing, and you probably would think the complete opposite because of how you know he is portrayed on the internet and how he goes back and forth with people and handles these situations. But I just wanted to say, from a personal standpoint, and me being around him personally, he is very high vibrational energy person, and very sweet too, but very assertive, and don't take no bullshit. And listen, he with all the fuck shit, bring it, he with it. But I'm just saying from what I was able to you know, when I've been in his presence before. And I'll say very sweet, because when my friend Sheree from Housewives, she had something for Housewives, I think. Oh, shout out Sheree, it was a long time ago when they filmed Housewives, and she needed a liquor sponsor, and I reached out, and he made sure, baby, that I got all those cases of effing vodka for her. He even gave me like a big bottle for props. Like, it was just one call, and he made it happen. So I'm just saying, he's cool, okay? Good guy. Anyway, good businessman too. So listen, he is a Cancer sun, okay? And I wanted to pull that other chart up for him, okay? Let's pull it up. Because I wanted to look at the wheel. Because y'all need to hear this one, okay? So Mr. Jackson, Curtis James Jackson, he is born July 6th, okay? So Cancer sun in New York City. New York is where he's born, baby. And he shares the same birthday as Kevin Hart, okay? And you know what's interesting too, guys? And this is off subject just real quick, but I just thought this was kind of crazy. My birthday is August 18th, and Kevin Hart's birthday is the same day as 50 Cent, and Kevin Hart's wife is August 18th. Ain't that crazy? Anyhow, he a third, and of course y'all know him as American rapper, entrepreneur, investor, and actor. And I'm talking about a hell of a businessman, okay? So Sun in Cancer in the 4th house of his home, period. All right? So a true Cancer through and through. And it's interesting because right out the gate, you can look in his 4th house. Cancer, that rules the 4th house of home, okay? Cancer does. And he had Saturn placements in that Cancer house, right? And so I'm going to say this, a few things. By him being a Cancer sun in his house of his home, that's one superpower that people don't see coming about him. He is naturally intuitive and psychic. He can see you coming before you even see you coming. So a lot of people say, well, how is he able to just do this? It's like he's like the master bully of them all type of energy, like diabolical. It's more placements here in the chart, but I just want to say that that's number one, a hidden superpower. He can see you. He know your energy. It's through and through. Saturn is here, so Saturn is karma, Saturn is time, but Saturn is challenges. And we can see Saturn rules the, Cancer rules the mother, moon, mother house, right? So with Saturn being there, we can see why he had issues or lost mom. Remember, that's what we know about him, losing his mom at an early age. And that affected him. So we can see that in his chart, right? Before we even unpack. All right, I had to give me a little coffee this morning, okay? But I'm going to say this too. This is another thing about him that you don't see coming, and they underestimate. Everybody's looking at the emotional standpoint of how he can piss you off and rub you the wrong way on the internet or come up as the bully. But he's a Gemini moon. So hidden communicator, hidden trickster, hidden manifester, okay? So very intelligent, very highly smart. Because I'm going to say this, it's all about the placements in the chart. His Gemini is in his house of home. So that makes it even more auspicious, okay? Because remember, Mercury rules Gemini. Gemini is communication. So the fact that his moon is in that house, that's what's hidden that y'all can't see. So it's like, how is he able to, and remember, Gemini is also the messenger, the communicator, gossip, the secrets. How's he able to get everybody business? How's he able to get everybody, gossip, right? Well, it's there. And I'm going to say this. He has such an auspicious placement with Gemini, his Mercury is there. So double communication. He has a IQ that's out this world. He didn't necessarily, one thing about everybody has to learn and whatever you call smart in different ways, okay? Some people are book smart, okay? But this man right here, he understands the assignment and the placement is out the gate. So it's like, almost like trying to go up against somebody that you're just not going to win. And I think that's what we see. And it's, like, how is he able to just keep going, right? Well, it's here. Now, his Venus is in Leo, okay? And his Leo house is in his house of home, okay? So he is a mess in partnerships, okay? So it's kind of like his song, Hated to Love It, the underdog's on top, right? And that's the energy. It's in the chart, all right? And so, his Mars, his sexual libido, where he takes action, how he moves, what drives him is in, listen, this is so damn funny. It's in Taurus, guys, in his house of home. So, baby, whatever they said about him, remember they said, Cuba League said, this nigga bought me $100 wig. That's all he ever bought me. He ain't give me shit. And he took that wig back when I was finished. That's that song. When they say, I don't give what you damn about me, bitch, you ain't gonna get $1 out of me. He ain't lying. He ain't gonna part with them funds. You know what, 50, you got to work on that. You got to do better, baby. All right, you got to work on that. But it's in his energy and resources. It's what drives him, okay? And he gonna get it, and he gonna keep it, and he gonna have it. So that's, again, his chart is interesting how it aligns. It's very powerful, okay? Now, let's see. Ooh, and his Jupiter, guys, is in Aries. And Aries is a very favorite placement when it comes to owo and money. So it explains his power and his range and his reach, all right? And how he's able to get his hands on resources. But let's just see where sometimes his emotions can get the best of him, but no, not really with the Saturn being in Cancer, because I'm going to say this. It still, through that, teaches lessons, but with that intuitivity and being in that house, it's like he know when to hold them and know when to fold them, right? Also, his Chiron is in Aries, so the wounded healer and how he shows up, okay? So I would say when he got shot those times, this would be the placement here, okay? And Aries is about identity, so that explains his, you know, physique and build. Remember, he was the only one to come down on these internet streets and be upside down on that monkey bar, baby, on that video. And also, Uranus is in Libra and Pluto. So in partnerships, and his Libra house is in his, you know, in his house of home. So now we see where why he goes through transformations in relationships and shakeups, meaning how we watched him date certain women and how it'll go well and then it could just suddenly end. Well, that's because Pluto and Uranus is there. So that explains that placement as well. But it gets really interesting with his chart because his North Node is in Scorpio. So that explains why he's attracted to that Scorpio or Scorpionic energy. Also, his Pluto is in Libra, that Scorpionic vibe as well in the partnership house. And if you notice, he dated Sierra. She's a Scorpio sun. And I want to say the last girl, pretty girl, Cuban Link, right? She was a Scorpio sun. So he's attracted to that energy. And he, remember I said he vibes high. So he's automatically ascending in his energy, in North Node energy. And remember, Pluto brings power through transformation. So through the endings, through the beginnings, you know, when those endings come, it's a regeneration phase. So remember that when it comes to that, you know, Scorpionic energy, that Pluto energy, it's like a regeneration. It's almost like the bounce back. You know, you like try to take their ass out of there and they be like, Freddie, I'm back. You know, that's that energy, okay? So we can clearly see that in his chart. And remember, Pluto brings power. His North Node, he's been operating it in a while. Because think about it, doesn't he have a famous show named Power? So you can't make the messages up in the chart, y'all. That's what is cool about when it's, you know, when we get down to the, you know, astrology standpoint, okay? So let's get into, I just wanted to share that because he is diabolical, okay? The shit that he been doing is crazy, baby. So we'll go into the current transits. I just wanted to look at, let's talk about Diddy real quick, okay? Which I have many on him, and you can go back on the channel and look, like I said. But these two, it's like they beef forever, right? Oh, damn, I think I might have X'd him out. So let's see. Okay, that's Sean Combs right there. All right, so here he is. He's New York, New York. That's what I wanted to bring up too. And so, and that's why I was like, before we get into the cards, let's talk about their energy. Because these two right here, they go toe to toe. So Sean Combs, businessman, November 4th, all right? So he's a Scorpio sun, all right? Of course, you know him as Diddy, Puffy, Brother Love, all the things. You know, he all over, jack of all trades, rapper, record producer, actor, you know, entrepreneur, all the things. And so he was born in Harlem, okay? But grew up in Mount Vernon, New York, which y'all know that. I always get to go over it. But, you know, he's also very wealthy, billionaire, all right? So let's get into it. Mr. Combs is a Scorpio sun in its house of home. That's interesting. And he has a few placements in that house, guys. So he has Neptune. That's the industry. I'm going to say something. Okay? And the Mercury, child, is in Scorpio. So his sun is in Scorpio. Neptune is in Scorpio. And his Mercury, his communication, how he communicates. Let me tell you where it gets interesting. This is a very powerful placement, but it also explains a lot about his personality. Remember, Scorpio rules the 8th house. The 8th house is about, death, transformation. Like I said, endings, beginnings. In Mr. Combs' life, you can see the many transformations that he goes through. I mean, hell, he puffy this time, he diddy this time, he brother love, you get it? Even transformation in his life through, the wins, the up, and then the losses. But the interesting thing is, this is still a powerful placement because they regenerate, all right? So through those losses, and new beginnings come, blessings come, right? It's the house of sexuality, all right, and other people's money, all right, wills, what do you call it, inheritance, all of that type of stuff, taxes and debts. So it's about the hidden and taboo subjects that people don't like to tap on. So this explains his energy in the best that I could even imagine. Because look at what he's dealing with. He's in jail due to his sexuality and the choices of the hidden taboo things and all the stuff that we consider dark. That is what's all in that 8th house. That's what that 8th house is all about. And imagine your Mercury being there. So how he communicates, the FOs, all of this lines right up in that energy. And it's here. Neptune is the industry, and isn't he powerful and famous in the industry? And let me say this, whether he's down right now and looked at as the worst person in the world, he's still one of the most talked about people in the world. Pay attention to the power of that, right? I always like people to want y'all to look at things from both sides of the spectrum, not so much as, oh, I hate him, oh, I don't like him, oh, no, I want you to look past that. We get that. I understand you'll feel the way you feel about the person or what you think they've done or whatever we're saying they do. I want you to look at their energy, right? And what's really happening, It's interesting because he has a favored Libra house, and it's in his house of home partnerships. Venus rules Libra, so that explains why he is able to not only he's a polarizing figure. Think about it. It's still the #1 documentary in the world right now, hate it or love it, right? And you know what I wanted to say? And shout out to Big E Astrology, because I take some of his astrology classes. This is a learning journey for me. So I love the fact channel. I love y'all here. Love building and sharing with y'all, because I take classes as well. And he's one of the persons that I like to take classes from. He is super cool. Go check him out on his YouTube channel. Very, 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 very cerebral and knowledgeable when it comes to this, okay? But he does a coffee talk, and we did Epstein's chart on a coffee talk one weekend, and also Charlie Kirk, right? And what I thought was interesting while we looking right now at Puffy's chart and him being his Scorpio sun in the 8th house, when you look at the placements, remember I was saying that's why I like to do this before we get in the cards, because it helps you see better energy of the person even when you're seeing the cards. I'm telling you, it brings those messages even more through, right? But what I mean by that is when we did Epstein's chart, his 8th house, Leo, was there. And remember, Scorpio rules that house is what I'm saying. But with his Leo placement there, Leo is what? Celebrities, actress, famous people, royalty. And remember, it's almost like in a sick way, he was born in his lifetime to do this sick shit that he did. With that Leo placement, When the royals, ain't he been banished from the kingdom across the pond, right? In these taboo, low subjects that nobody wants to tap into, these sick energies, this dark sexuality in that house. Trump, all the people in the 8th house, all these famous people he's connected to. So I just like to share that with y'all. It's really interesting to see how this works, right? So with his Venus being there, it's like he's always been able to get through and have favor and blessed in partnerships and business. 7th house is not just about love relationships, it's about your business, your partnerships, period. Libra, right? He also has Jupiter there, so that's why he's able to really amass so much. And remember, Venus blesses her children. It's like Oshun energy, baby. She spoiled her kids, okay? Also, Uranus brings power, but Uranus shakes the table. So we can see now, an energy where he's experienced a shakeup on the downside side of it, but we can see where the up has been up to billionaire status, right? It's in his charts. But check this out. His Saturn is in Taurus. And that's where the challenges lie. And his money, his resources being taken up through there right now. Because Saturn, I told you, teaches lessons, karma, father time, chronos. And thing about it is, it takes time. Saturn is time, the slowest moving planet. So it took this long for him to take the hit. And we can safely say we know he's taking a financial hit on a huge level because Saturn is in that house. But what's interesting, this is a karmic relationship with him in 50. Because him being a Scorpio sun in that house, this is 50's North Node in that house, right? They both have a Uranus placement. This is a karmic, this is almost kind of like Cain and Abel, for the people who are, in the Bible. Or, it's like a karmic brotherhood that if they don't get it right in this lifetime, they got to come back, y'all, and repeat this all over again, okay? Pluto is in Virgo, and I said in my reading, right? And also his moon is in Virgo. So what's hidden is his communication, his intelligence, as well as his routine, the way he pay attention to detail, the way he get the job done is where his also success comes in. Virgo, remember, Virgo and Gemini are ruled by communication, Mercury, right? So by his moon being there, it gets interesting. But the Pluto portion is where, also that house Virgo is your daily routines and your health. Karma will come through health for him, all right? It's in the chart. You can see it. Let's see what Chiron is. And we're going to move on. Aries. Him and 50 Cent have the same Chiron, the wounded healer. So enemies to the death of it. And it's in the same house. So these are brothers, karmic brotherhood from a past lifetime that they are at war. Okay, and it's interesting because Aries does rule war, bloodshed, right? That's what Aries is all about. Action, but still, and these two are enemies. To the we'll be beefing forever. It's interesting. And so I just wanted to see one more thing for him. His North Node is in Pisces, and that's interesting because it's in that 12th house, and that's the sage of the zodiac, and that's the spiritual house. So a lot of, that's why he was so drugged up, guys, and it explains it here in that house, because that's like a hidden house. 12th house is about karma, okay? Secrets, and look, hidden enemies that you can't see. Keep that in mind, all right? Let's see what 50's Pisces house was. Real quick. It's an empty house. Yeah, it's a karmic relationship. I just wanted to just catch that. And we won't even go into the placements of the others, but what we will look at real quick is that Maino, the rapper, he's 52 years old. He's from New York as well. But his birthday is August 30th. So he's a Virgo sun. But he has a Libra moon. So that's that energy of how he comes in shaking the table. The rising sign is Scorpio. Okay, so his rising it's interesting because it's ancestral, you know, he's intuitive as well, but his midheaven is in Leo, so he's meant to be in the industry on a level and, you know, create, but Virgo is about communication, and it's interesting because he's doing a podcast, which is good because that's really what, you know, in the energy space he's here to do, especially based on the placement in his chart, right? And it's in his career, so he's a sun in that career. So, yeah, he's here to communicate, okay? Mr. Maino. Let's see. I want to see one thing, and I'm going to move on. It's just interesting because 50 Cent is beefing with him, okay? Where is his Saturn? Let's look real quick. That's why it's important to look. His Saturn is in Cancer. And it's interesting because it's Cent is a Cancer sun. Challenges. Bingo. You ain't gonna be able to beat him, baby. I told you that 50 Cent got that, he diabolical. It's almost like Mr. Invincible damn near. Jim Jones is a Taurus. I always thought he was a Gemini. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I thought he was a Gemini. I thought that's what they said, but here, oh no, this not him. I was gonna say this ain't the Jim Jones that we know. I know that's right. Okay, so Fabulous is a Scorpio sun. He's a part of, and he's an 8th house Scorpio. He a mess. He got Uranus there. He is a part of the industry, and he definitely has been powerful. And he is somebody in his city. That's a fact, Jack. You ain't even got to, and his Venus there, so he a mess too. Woo, that's why he go back and forth with Miss Emily B. Hearn. She's a pretty girl. So his Mars is in Leo, so he's a star. Which we know that. In his house of partnership, so he's something else. But his Saturn is in Virgo and work, so we can see how his career up, and then it kind of, you know, challenges there. Lessons, karma, learn. What about that partnership house? Transformation there. Libra, and girl is a Libra. So I get it. They went through their transformation to being together, a lot of ups and downs. And his North Node is in there, so he's to ascend in partnership house. And his Jupiter is in Cancer, so we should see he should have some positive placements and energy going on with him right now, because Jupiter is in Cancer right now. Dave East, y'all, real quick. I think they said he a part of the podcast. He a Gemini sun, communication. You see that? So Moon in Capricorn. Okay? So he got that earth energy. Assertive, wise. I think that's kind of like how he rap too, right? I don't really listen to the music like that, so. Okay, I get it. All right, and real quick, we got, who else was it? So it was Maino, it was Fab, we did Fab. It was Dave East. So the only other person I just wanted to see his sign, it was Jim Jones, right? And what sign is Marlon Wayans? Let's look real quick. So we got Jim Jones, rapper, birth chart real quick. Okay. Here you go. Yeah. I thought he was a Gemini, because I want to say, because I like him and Chris Girl. They a mess. Been around for a long time. So he is, so New York City. And keep in mind, all these men are from New York. Y'all paying attention to that energy too? And then you have, okay, so Joseph Willamero Jones. So he's the second, 7/15. No, 6/15. So the day after Trump, all right? That's his birthday. So he is a Gemini. No. I'm still wrong. Let me look at that again. July. Right, I'm thinking June. He a Cancer. I didn't know that. Oh, that's interesting. Because 50 is a Cancer. Let's see where his sun house at. Oh, in his house of home. And his Mercury is there as well. So he a bit, no wonder why he be like so moody and emotional. That's interesting. His moon is in Pisces. In the 12th house. He real spiritual, interestingly enough. It's hidden though. He go through his battles and bouts with that Pisces moon. But that also shows how he's able to, you know, land like creatively and career kind of just like able to, you know, keep ways of staying in the game in a sense, right? I think Pisces to me in the chart represents perfection somewhere in the chart too, in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion, okay? His Mars is in Virgo, all right? So it's in a routine house. So he takes action. So he gonna get to the bag. He's a worker. He's a hustler, which I think that it's safe to say we watched him, you know, through and through over the years, and that's really how he kind of comes across, right? So he has a Pluto in Libra, and that's in the partnership house. So it's interesting that they all got some kind of placements that are similar. So he go through transformation and partnership, and you see him in Tristan, they go up, down, up, down. His Venus is in Leo. That's interesting. And it's in that house, okay? In the house of Leo. Him and 50 got the same kind of, almost some placement similar. His Jupiter's in Taurus, so he's going to always get to the money. I know people were saying he ain't got no money like that. He was able to come up with $200,000 to wire 50, but Chiron is there. So he even in Taurus, so he can go up and down. Jupiter is there, but it's lessons and storyline behind money too, wins and losses when it comes to his money house, okay? But he still came up with the $200,000 that he wired to 50, right? Where's Saturn? Okay, Leo, relationship, partnership, love. So his challenges is in that house. Still, that's kind of like a placement when 50's Venus is there. So Favor's there and his Saturn is there. It takes away. 50 is a fucking beast, okay? It just is what it is, y'all. Let's move on. I just wanted to look at, that's deep. Let's just see what Marlon Wayans' sign is, because all of them been beefing, child. Oh my God. It just seemed like he just pulled away from the beef. It's like he was with the shit and then he pulled away. So he is the first day of Leo, Marlon Wayans, 7/23. Y'all know Marlon, okay? I think he the baby brother too of Sean. You know, the famous Wayans brothers. They are definitely Hollywood royalty when it comes to comedy, okay? So, and then he from New York too. That's interesting. So, Sun in Leo, Moon in Sag. That's interesting. And that Moon is in his house of home. Jupiter is in Capricorn. And they have had very successful career in a lifetime. So, favored in there. And no matter what challenges he go through, they, you know, their family, they gonna be, they gonna prevail in finances because it's here in his chart, right? Neptune and Sag, industry and how he communicates. He's still intelligent. That's why he can come off like an asshole in a sense sometimes. But his Pluto is in Virgo, and that's in the house of his home. So we see him going through transformations in his career, the ups, the downs. The messages are here. Chiron and Aries got the same placement, wounded in the identity. And you know, that's interesting because, you know, we be like, is he straight or is he not straight? And, you know, that could be energy in that Aries, Chiron house as well. His Mars is in Leo and it's in his house. So, okay, Sexual libido, action, Mercury and Leo, how he communicates. He's a star. I mean, he's a star. It is what it is. They win, brothers. Venus and Gemini. So that's interesting because and it's in his house of home too. Wow. And his Saturn challenges through communication. We see him having some challenges, like he does well and then it can not be well. So he got lessons in communication, but I'm going to say something. And you remember, that's 50's favorite placement, right? But he got challenges here. And when he communicates, he can rub people the wrong way over the years. He's had several challenges in that area, whether it's been with, I think, the children's mom and stuff. I can't keep up, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to say something about Venus being in Gemini. That can also be another indicator in a sense of, when it comes to partners, it could be, you're open. It could be male, female, you can try anything, okay? And that might be what turns you on when you got that Venus placement there. Let's be clear. And it's hard to settle, in my opinion, when I see that placement too. And I don't think he's married, so it makes sense. Let's get on into the messages. I'm gonna pull some clips because 50 is diabolical. Y'all, okay, so we got the Netflix energy. Everybody pissed off with him. A lot of people have a lot to say about this. I'm sorry, I didn't realize it's been 36 minutes, but hey, we here, so ride with me. But I'll shout out the clips before I get, after I run them from where I pull them from. But let me just take y'all down memory lane. 50 is hell. He released the Diddy documentary. As y'all know, it's #1 in the country, all right? But it is very controversial. He done pissed a lot of people off. So a lot of people feel like, you're trying to take down a black man, all right? So that was the energy of, I think Puffy and him got into it. They said Puffy sent him some funeral flowers. So we're going to get into the cards. We're going to get into the reading and the current energy with these, two enemies, lifetime enemies, in my opinion. Also, that was the energy that struck up nephew Christian, okay, because he came down and said that once he saw this documentary, and this was today, yesterday, that he was going to slap 50 when he see him. Now, that was interesting, and 50 shut that shit down and did that real classy with a one-liner and came to the internet and said what he said. Okay, so now it went to, I think with the podcast where all the guys we just said, Maino, Jim Jones, Fabulous, David, all of them had a conversation about how is this okay for him to do this documentary, taking a black man down, not saying did he right or wrong or whatever I guess they were saying. But the bottom line is they felt the way. And so 50, with his diabolical self, comes down to the internet, Beyonce internet, and he had his piece to say that all y'all niggas over there talking shit about me and what I'm doing while y'all on some fashion show shit with y'all old grown asses worried about what y'all got on, and y'all niggas some squatters. This is what 50 said, y'all, okay? Don't shoot the messenger. And then y'all behind and y'all rent $200,000. I look like I'm gonna buy me a podcast today. And not even, and listen, they were going back and forth, and after this happened, crickets. Nobody had anything to say. And then 24 hours later, Jim Jones has wired $200,000 to 50 Cent. Okay? So very interesting. All right? And that is why we hear now. And 50 is a diabolical mess. My best friend said, may an enemy like that never find me, please, in this lifetime. And I was so tickled today. So I had to tap into that energy as well. Okay? So let's get into it. And I'm going to make sure that I run some clips too for y'all. All right? Let's get into it. Okay, so family, this is part 1 of the 50 Cent versus everybody, okay? And this is 50's current energy and all the things that are going on around him, what's ahead for him, and him versus everybody, okay? So this will be, about Maino and all of them and all the other ops that he's When I say I am so tickled, man, listen, I love it. Who do y'all think he could be? Is he the Joker? Because, I mean, he has all the money, but the way that he moves, he could not be that bad. Y'all just sound off in the comments and tell me what y'all think. Because when I tell you, I am just so tickled. He diabolical, right? But seriously, this is his energy and all of that, as well as, like I said, his personal stuff. And part 2 will be Diddy, because Diddy, we got to get into how he feels. But in this one, we talk about how 50 feels about all of them. All right, so let's get into it. Oh, and shout out to all the clips, and you can see their names under there. Definitely Ed Lover Lover, the legendary Ed Lover Lover. All right, and also, yeah, NBC News will be on the other one. All right, so shout out to all the clips for everybody that I pulled from. You'll see. All right, let's get into it.
What do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time. Because you'll see people saying that. I mean, he may feel a different way about pieces and bits of it, but he knows the truth. I think he'll see the truth in it. What would you be thinking that?
Because of the things that you post on Instagram,
Yeah,
because of the...
Look at this. And let's stop for a second and do say that I hated him enough to hire his kids. And we've never done anything to each other. So it's just competitive energy and things that you say about other artists while you're in hip-hop culture.
You really hate...
And you are watching Forgotten Kings TV. That's right, Forgotten Kings TV. Come on, son.
Listen, y'all, 50 Cent wants all the smoke, okay? And right now, he's going at it with Maino, Jim Jones, and everyone else over at the Let's Rap About It podcast. That's right, y'all. Now, of course, as you've seen in the beginning of this video, Jim Jones, Maino, Davies, and Fab, they made some comments recently about documentaries, okay? For whatever reason, this was during a time when everyone was reacting to the latest 50 Cent Diddy Netflix docuseries, The Reckoning, okay? Of course, 50 Cent, like I said, he wants smoke with everybody. So he heard the comments made by Jim and Maino and everyone else over there at the Let's Rap About It podcast, and immediately he felt like they were talking about him, okay? So, of course, late last night, 50 made this post responding to the comments made over on Let's Rap About It podcast. And 50 says in his post, these guys are squatters, okay? They owe $250K for the space they are filming their podcast. These bums are trying to win Best Dressed Award and can't pay their bills, all right? This is to let you know he's exactly talking about the Let's Rap About It podcast, uploading some images of Jim. Again, these are articles, but you know, once 50 gets started, listen, he's a habitual line stepper. So here we go. Okay, just last week we had Marlon. Now we got the whole Let's Rap About It podcast. So of course, not long after, Maino would respond back to 50 in his post. And as you can see here on the screen, this is what Maino had to say late last night. He tells 50, "Meet Killer Curly, ladies and gentlemen. He helped me get my record deal before, so I'ma always be grateful. So it's gonna hurt me to drag this nigga to hell. Fuck is the problem, Curtis? What has your G-Unit G-string in a bunch, nigga? Is it the bitch or the diabetes? But let's rap about it, all right? Now, of course, you see Jim Jones. He down here with the eye emoji. You get what I mean? Like I said, this happened late last night, and here we are this morning. They still going back and forth. Now, of course, 50 Cent, he responded. And, you know, 50 Cent, man, he listen, you got to choose your opponents wisely, because with 50, he's diabolical, as they would say. And he's trying to get y'all up out of here, because not long after this post, 50 Cent will respond back at Maino. And this is what 50 had to say, man. 50 says, let me make sure I can zoom in for y'all so y'all can check that out. Hold on. Let me see if y'all can see that. All right. 50 tells Maino, I didn't have this on my list of things to do, but if you insist, I'll make time. I'm working on buying a space where you film and 50% of your podcast, okay? You know I don't cap. So let me read this again. I didn't have this on my list of things to do, but if you insist, I'll make time. I'm working on buying a space where you film your podcast, okay? Well, it says 50% of your podcast, and you know I don't cap. So you got Cam over here, you know what I mean, with homie from The Wire, the meme, you feel me? I was going to say emoji, but, you know, all the same shit. But listen, man, 50 not playing. He trying to shut it down, okay? He's trying to buy the podcast and officially end their podcasting career. This is wild. But again, we're talking about 50 Cent. This is why you have to choose your opponents wisely. Considering right now, you know, with his name, right, in the headlines, thanks to this Diddy Netflix docuseries, let's leave 50 alone, because right now he will make a campaign out your ass. And he got his attention on the Let's Rap About It podcast. Now, of course, Maino will respond to 50 threatening to buy the podcast in which they filmed this Let's Rap About It podcast. And in Maino's response, he tells 50, listen, why buy half the podcast when you can buy the entire thing and make it a full 100%? Okay. Listen, man, Jim Jones was right there in agreement, basically saying, come on, cash this out for this whole location. Okay. Since you want to talk big money, don't just buy half. I think he just, misread what 50 said, but altogether, you got 50 threatening to purchase the location in which they filmed their podcast just to, pack them up and shut down this whole podcast run that they've been on for these past several months. This is 50 being petty as usual, but listen, man, y'all let me know. What are your thoughts on 50 threatening to pull the plug after this back and forth with Maino? And, again, after hearing the comments made about documentaries. Now, again, listen, is it possible? According to Maino, he said, he wasn't talking about 50 specifically. Again, for those who didn't hear what Maino had to say earlier today on All the Way Up with Yee, let's play all this clip so y'all can hear exactly what was said by Maino when Angela Yee brought up 50 sending shots early this morning. Let's check this out right quick. Hold on.
Never sue the other driver after a car accident. There's a better way to get paid a way bigger check without having.
Like 50 Cent has taken shots at the Let's Rap About It crew.
Smoke. It's very smoky.
Now, 50 posted this.
Documentary is a big thing. Like, you don't want nobody doing a documentary about some, like, trying to just make your whole character look weak. Like, that's petty behavior.
I don't understand why that's, like, legal to do, though.
Documentary is more like a monument, shit like that. Do you think that is wrong or not?
I'm not with it.
All right, now, he posted that clip, and then he also posted, and I got to make sure I got to see, like, what's true and what's not true.
Call us squatters.
Yeah, he called you guys squatters and said you guys owe $250,000. So is that true?
I don't know nothing about that.
Okay, so you guys have paid your rent.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay. All right, now, to put it in perspective, though, you said you weren't taking aim.
No, we not making our podcast not going. We don't talk about people. We take things and internalize it. We was talking about, it was a general conversation about do people have the actual right to make a documentary about you, and how would you feel if it was you? But I get where you're coming from. But at the same time, I'm not trying to walk nothing down. Like, if it's smoke, it's smoke.
All right, well, here is.
All right, y'all heard that from Maino. If it's smoke, it's smoke. Okay, so listen, after hearing what Maino said, you got 50 now threatening to buy the whole podcast, the whole Let's Rap About It podcast. And of course, according to Maino, he said, look, you might as well just purchase the whole damn thing. Because again, like I said, man, this is interesting that all of this because of everyone giving their reaction to the latest Diddy Netflix docuseries titled The Reckoning. Again, I don't think it's nothing personal between 50. He's just smart when it comes to marketing, understanding that, you know what, the more people who speak on this project that I'm invested in with Netflix, the more people are tuned in, right? Which means next go around, they gonna have to pay. This is how 50's looking at it, like business. So anyone who's speaking about any documentary, he going at your neck, okay? It's one person who also has something to say about 50, and that's Dr. Umar. So listen, like I said, if I'm Doc, listen, you better get your affairs in order, because Messing with 50, he might buy that damn school. Doc, I'm gonna be real. 50, he ain't playing right now. Like I said, he's on a crazy run when it comes to just going at anyone who got something to say about him and his brand. And right now, 50's brand is looking real bulletproof. All right, pun intended for those who played the game back in the day. But y'all let me know, man. What are your thoughts on this back and forth between 50 Cent and the Let's Rap About It podcast? Now, again, Maino is speaking on behalf, you know what I mean, of his co-host, because we have to, wait and see next week if they'll even entertain this, you know what I mean, as far as the Let's Rap About It podcast crew. But as of right now, we got 50 threatening to purchase the Let's Rap About It podcast, essentially ending their whole podcasting career. And, considering this is 50 Cent, I don't know. This is a dangerous game. But after hearing Maino's response, he like, yo, you better come correct. You know what I mean? But y'all let me know. What are your thoughts on all of this controversy down in the comment section below? Again, do you think Netflix got their money's worth, collabing with 50 on this Diddy docuseries? Because again, we going on week 3 and people are, still having to, feel the need to state their opinion on this whole project altogether, whether you liked it or not. Again, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. But with that being said, that's all I got for y'all. Again, my name is Sensei Rip. Till next time, peace. Listen, y'all, choose your opponents wisely, okay? 50 out here ending careers. He might end your damn podcasting career. So listen, move with caution. All right, y'all.
He can't keep getting away with this, you guys. How does 50 Cent have so much connection to everybody? The man doesn't even live in New York City anymore. How does he keep doing this every single time? Now, moving forward, this is about to get real interesting, you guys. Y'all remember a couple days ago when 50 Cent called Jim Jones, Maino, Fab, and also Dave E squatters? And he also called them bums that owed $250K in rent. That was a very specific amount that only somebody that's involved in their business would know how much they actually owed in rent. Now, 50 Cent then went on to say that he's working on buying their podcast building and also 50% of their podcast. This was a very bold claim that came out of nowhere. We know 50 Cent has the money to do so, but how the hell does he even know who to contact in order to buy their podcast space and also 50% of their podcast? I mean, maybe he might know the owners of the company that distributes the podcast, but how's he gonna buy the podcast building? That makes no sense. Well, turns out, you guys, plot twist, the fucking landlord has been working with 50 Cent this whole time. And you guys will not believe this. According to the landlord, not only does he own the podcast building, but he owns 50% of their podcast business. Now, yesterday, 50 Cent put out this message saying, yo, so Jim wired the $200K over. Okay, cool. He may turn out to be a good tenant after all. Then he goes on to say a name that alludes to being Jim Jones' landlord. He said, Samuel, if you ever need me to make them pay, just give me a ring. I'm here. Now, people thought 50 Cent was bluffing. People thought he was trolling. Well, this morning, 50 Cent put out a voicemail of Samuel, Jim Jones' landlord that owns the building, and apparently the man owns 50% of their podcast company. Here's what he said.
I want to rent it. And I said, okay, fine. Right? He's been saying this for since October. And so he keeps trying to build it, but he won't sign the lease. He's like, I don't like these terms. I want 6 months of build out and ridiculous bullshit. We also have a partnership agreement where half of what he's building now, his media, belongs to us. But he won't tell us how much he's making and doing all these things. So half of the content he's creating, if you want to buy that too, I'll sell you half the company. He's not a business. He's insane. To me, it's worth very little to nothing. But if it works out for you, I just throw that in as a sweetener. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is he signed a lease with me. Right now he owes, I'm going to say it in a short way, at least $80,000, if not $180,000. The monthly rent on the old lease.
This is actually insane, you guys. You know how much your landlord has to hate you for this to happen? So much so that he's talking to your op about selling your company and also the building that you recorded.
Wayans saying that he will definitely get his karma for putting out the Diddy documentary. 50 Cent responded by posting a picture of Marlon dressed up in drag for a movie character with the caption that read, "Keep my name out of your mouth."
50 Cent What was it like in the family chat? Were your brothers like egging you on or telling you quit it?
Well, what happened?
I just said his name. They asked me about the documentary. I was like, I didn't see it. And then they asked me about it, and I just gave my opinion. I was just like, I don't think brothers need to be quarreling in public like that. And then what I get into? A public quarrel with a brother. And I just think it was bad for the culture. And so I kind of backed out, and plus my brothers, so I don't even say that name anymore. Okay. If you ask me, hey, you got change of $1? I need a half a dollar, so you need a half a dollar.
Got
You
it.
talking about 5 dimes? 2 quarters. I'll say 2 quarters.
Okay.
How old are you? I'm 43 plus a dime. I will no longer say.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It rhymes with gifty. Right? So my brothers, they were funny. Damon was like, why you pick the biggest brother? He's on gamma rays. Stick to beefing with Soldier Boy, Kevin Hart, people that we can beat. You fight him. Leave guys that got shot 9 times alone.
You found time for a social media beef with 50 Cent. What was it like in the...
Abundantly clear. I'm not here defending Diddy. I am here because I got dragged into this because somebody asked me a question and I had an opinion. Nobody's wrong for giving an opinion about any subject, period. I'm not here defending Diddy. Don't let the narrative fool you or get to you. Once again, somebody's creating narratives. This is my point. So please look at the whole clip that I did and then look what happens with the narrative. And that's what I'm telling you. Y'all people don't be sheep. Use your brain, use your freedom of thought, your freedom of speech, and don't ever let nobody bully you. Never. Don't let nobody bully you. You got me? Love. Now back to trolling this troll.
Okay, so family, so this is let's get into the cards with 50. So this is gonna be his current energy, and I already blessed the card. So y'all know what we finna do. Let's get into it. I'm gonna clear the energy. So if you gotta step away for a second for the bell, just or just a second, okay? Okay, cool. We're gonna start with him, okay? Okay, we're gonna start with him. And then we'll, get on down through there with everybody else, okay? So let's start with him, so. Let's see what's up with Mr. Curtis Jackson, baby. We're going to pull some messy cards on him because he is a mess, okay? So let's start here first. Sorry about that. Yeah. I'm going to start with these first, and then we'll do that one, okay? So let's get his current energy. I hope y'all doing good this morning. I'm just clearing the cards. It's a brand new deck too. It's new. Curtis Jackson. okay? Let me do it one more time, Spirit say. Oh, this is Wayans. Come on, let's see what's up with him, child. He is diabolical. I love his certificate though. He's crazy ass. Alright, he is wild. What's up with him right now, okay? This Spirit. Energy for him. Coming out in threes. Okay. Extra energy on him, please. Oh shit. Didn't hit, but they did come out. So I'm gonna just kind of, we're gonna sit them to the side, okay? That's how we're gonna do that. How about that? Okay, so let's see what's up with him, okay? That's interesting. These cards so new, so remind me, I'm not gonna move the placements, but you know what I mean. Okay. Let's line them up. And this also like CDs, and I see the focal point too. Okay. And we're gonna pull these, but I just kind of wanted to get the ball rolling. So let's unpack. Mr. Jackson, Mr. 50 Cent, Mr. Curtis Jackson, it's so crazy, guys. Look at the first card. Can't make the messages up. First card coming out the deck, strength. When I say he died, he is the most diabolical bully, baby. He coming in strong. He's standing on business. Let me tell you something. It's not even just about this strength goes wide when you see the messages, right? This strength is about strength in the mind, strength in the body, strength in his spirit, strength in focus, strength in finances. Like, he is, if this ain't the, epitome of coming in strong and standing on business, this is Mr. Jackson. He good in his energy. Like, he like, so what? I'm that nigga. He the man. Don't he got a song? I'm the man, I'm the man. He is the man. It's here in the messages. I love it. I'm here for it, bro. Knight of Pentacles. Listen. He always is about them coins. Remember I said his chart aligns with that Taurus where he takes action, okay? So when you see the strength beside that Knight of Pentacles, this is about putting in the work. He understands the assignment. He is a planner. He is all about the details. In other words, this is the energy of coming in strong, crossing your motherfucking I. Crossing your T's and dotting your I's. He not missing no steps, okay? Bit by bit, like Chief tell us with E5, he gonna get the job done. He gonna make it happen, and he gonna get it done right Not only is he gonna get it done right, he gonna get it done effectively, and he gonna get it done, okay? He's a hard worker. He's efficient. You know, he's responsible. And believe it or not, you know, even though he may be a jokester, a trickster, you know, all of that with the Gemini energy, let me tell you something. He is not only practical, but he's efficient, all right? When it comes to his goals, his life, his business, how he moves, how he has things set up in his life, right? He is a force to be reckoned with. I told y'all when I had the opportunity to meet him a few times, his energy is in a high vibration. And this also shows in the cards coming in strong, right? King of Wands is here, right? So that's about, not only is he coming in strong, this is about projects too that he has in place. He got many projects, and he's effective when it comes to his work and his goals and his dreams and opportunities and, you know, business and lanes. He has many, but he does it strategically. You know, he's a effective planner. It is what it is. The messages are here in the cards. But this is about seeing the bigger picture. See, he has a broad vision on how he views things, right? He's a leader. And one thing he gonna do with this energy all together, overcoming the obstacles, overcoming the ops, defeating the ops. They come against him on the bullshit, right? But he coming in strong. He coming in with strength. And remember I said, even before we even got to the Knight of Pentacles, I said in the energy, is his mind is strong. Not just his physical, his, you know, his spirit, you know, it's his mental. He is very cerebral, okay? Very strategic. You know, in other words, these cards, I can't stress it enough. This is chess, and this is chess, not checkers, okay? Bottom line. He has new creative projects coming in. We know that he does have that new studio, right? So the messages are here. Creative projects that are coming in that he's putting the work in. He's funding them, putting the money behind it, and they're going to be successful. Y'all see that energy right there? Now, he does have a dark side, okay, to him. And, you know, but the thing about the devil in reverse, this to me, the reason why I paused, okay, is because it means a few things. Because you have all three kings on the table, right? So when it comes in like this, we can see the current energy of him and how he comes in strong, right? But this represents your enemies. Y'all see that? That's why I said, give me a second, let's unpack. This is about jealousy. This is about toxicity. This is about, you know, somebody that the way he move, he got motherfuckers all in their feelings. He got people all in their head, right? You got all three kings on the table. Look, 4. I can't make the messages up. All 4 of them. All 4. He is the King of Cups, right? Focal point of the card. And I'm going to say this. Even though, to me, this is his enemies on the table. It's so interesting. Well, one thing I love this when we do this. Because the messages, you can't lie. You know how people be like, you have an opinion? Yes, we all have an opinion. But baby, when the messages come out, they align. What it say? Let the truth be told. When last time we pulled cards and all 4 kings, all 4 suits are on the table, whether they up or they down, right? When you see that in reverse, the King of Cups, in his energy, it represents a few things. All 4 represent his enemies, okay? But aside of that, right, in his energy, because this is still his current energy, he is the King of Cups in reverse, and he on his best bullshit. This is about coldness. This is about, you know, he ain't nobody to be fucked with, so don't underestimate him. He with all the bullshit, but one thing about it, if you want your answer, is here. Yeah, he emotional. He feel away. He feel away. Remember I said something about these 2 cards that slipped out to the side, right, soul family? And it gets interesting, right? Because I was like, they didn't necessarily fall. And y'all know I like to see the messages fall. But they kind of did, because it was interesting, because they just kind of fell over. So my Ori spirit say, put those off to the side and unpack the messages first, right? So y'all saw me put these to the side. He in his feelings. You know, people asked about this documentary, right? He trying to take a black man down and all the things. I get that. But you got to look at things. Remember I said that, soul family. When you are looking at the messages, looking at people and the situations that's going on, make sure that you play devil's advocate all the time and look at both sides of the spectrum, both sides of the situation, both sides of the energy of what you're looking at and, you know, who you're dealing with. And let me say this. Always make that a habit to do that, even going forward into the new year, outside of his messages, because his messages are telling you that's how he moves and that's where his success lies. Because he look at everything from all angles. Look, Knight of Pentacles, to the paying attention to the details. He ain't leaving one stone unturned, right? You're not going to get shit past him. Not no money, not no finesse, not no game plan, not no setup, none of that. You see that? He in position. He like, come on. Because I already see you before you coming, and I already planning. Planning. You get it? He already got his strategy. He already putting strategy in place. He already doing the work behind the scenes. That's how he know all y'all bullshit. That's how he know your business. Because he's strategic. He's a strategist, right? You ain't gonna get one up on him. He ain't gonna miss. Boy, I love this. You can't make it up. But this is one or two things. And it's interesting that this king end up being the focal point, right? And the reason why is like, it's not funny, but it's just interesting to see this be the focal point of the messages before I even pull these, show y'all these two. This King of Cups, that's why I said, how is this off to the side and this is the energy in reverse, right? Because it means more than one thing. And it's, to me, when I see that, it's like the energy of the reading, the energy and the focal point. King of Cups in reverse. 50 Cent is a Cancer sun. This is the King of Cups in reverse. So let's go back to what I said. Yes, he's cold. Yeah, he volatile. Yeah, he with the shits. Yeah, he playing games. But he come to win, though. He don't just play games to play games. You get it? Remember, I said this is chess, not checkers. You can see it in the messages, right? And yeah, he in his feelings and he emotional. What caused all this bullshit? Why are we here? What is the energy of the documentary being, being released? What is the energy of why all this came about? Well, we know it's Puffy, and ain't Puffy the King of Cups in reverse as well? Remember I said pay attention to why this is the focal point of the reading. King of Cups is water sign energy. 50 Cent is a Cancer sun. Puffy is a what? Scorpio sun. So both of them in their feelings. Both of them with the shits. Right? He like, nigga, I'm gonna come for your ass. I'm gonna make your life, it's up and fucking stuck. But guess what? Puffy feel the same way. Even in lockup. He got it. It's like how they say, keep the same energy, nigga. They got it. They both got the same energy. This is toe to toe, head to head. It's up and fucking stuck. I'ma see you when I see you. This ain't no playing no games though, y'all. This energy right here, and it's personal. Keep in mind, this is cups is emotions. So both people are in their feelings. Nigga, when I see you, it's up and stuck. Hey, this ain't no faking either. This ain't how them niggas be flexing and dodging and, you know what I'm saying? They ain't about what they say they about. They about their life. 50 about their life, Puffy about their life. Now, this is where the cards get interesting, right? So I want y'all to keep riding with me. Now, I'm going to go back to what I said because I don't forget. Even before I get into why we here, right? But remember they said, why you trying to tear another black man down? Remember I said so, family. Pay attention to both sides of everything. Play devil's advocate, right? Yeah, you can look at it from that perspective. Taking a black man down as far as doing the documentary, you know, exploiting and bringing out more secrets or allegedly, or if it's a documentary, more truth on all the things that, you know, he has, Sean Combs or Puffy or Diddy has done wrong. And you can look at it in the energy like, man, why he want to just keep dragging it out? You know, why do him like that? And this is not a racist conversation, so let's be clear. Because they looking at it like, well, you know, white people don't do that to each other. Why is always us as a black people have to tear each other down? And remember, that was the argument, all four kings on the table with Maino and Fabulous and, you know, Jim Jones and all of them. That was their gripe with 50, right? But look at the other side of the spectrum. You can look at it from that standpoint if you like. If that's how you feel. Yeah, that could be part of it. Maybe he shouldn't, maybe he should. Who's to say, right? But this is about, look at that. And this is more than one message. And it's funny how the messages came out because y'all saw them plop. I'm going to hold that close so y'all can see that. Look at that 8 of Swords. And look at that Queen of Cups. Remember I said, this the focal point of the reading. Because Diddy and 50 is beefing. They enemies forever. King of Cups in reverse, right? It's about that Queen of Cups is baby mama. And the Cups is here, interestingly enough, he in his feelings about what you did to his baby mama. So this could be one or two things. This is 50, King of Cups, in his feels about how you, I wouldn't necessarily say in trap, but you see that lady with the blindfold? You slutted his baby mama out. The way you drugged that thing out, that was so embarrassing. Not to say that, who's to say whatever her character, we not here to judge. That ain't none of our business. But we just looking at what the messages are and calling a thing, right? You sex trafficked her, or you know, had her all out doing all this shit. That's the issue, right? This another message here. So on the other side of the spectrum, this is Puffy, King of Cups in reverse, right? Ain't he locked up right now? But his energy in reverse is, nigga, it don't matter if I'm locked up, if I'm free, nigga. It's up and fucking stuck. You can get it. I'm on your ass. This is real beef, y'all. This ain't no damn get you a steak. This is real. And let me tell you something. Not only is it real, this shit might get dangerous. Look at that devil right there. Oh, and this a deep hatred and dislike and disdain for one another. Look how deep that shit go. Ain't that crazy? Not only is he locked up, but if you want to look at it from Puffy's standpoint, I slutted. I got your bitch. I slutted her out. I took her up through there. I got her mind gone. You see the blindfold? She still was up there, y'all, on the stand. Jane Doe. I was in love with Mr. Combs. You see that Queen of Cups in the upright? Because that's how she felt. Right? But this how Puffy had her mind gone. You can't never make the messages up. That is wild, ain't it? That's so deep. That's deep. He comes so hard and so tough, 50, on his bully and on his boss shit. The jealous and the hate for him is real. And it's coming all 4 ways. So, nigga, your enemy's coming from the north, the south, the east, the west. Because, look, they all over the table. North, south, east, west. It's up. But this is also the dark side of 50. Just when you think that he ain't with the shit, just when you think you underestimate him, baby, he with all the extra bullshit too. He ain't no punk. He with the shit. I hate to have to use all these cuss words, but this ain't for children, no way. And you know we here to keep this thing above, baby. Look at that King of Swords. Yes, this is enemy, in my opinion, next to the devil. But again, this is his energy. And when you see it in the upright, guess what? This nigga gonna come with the truth. He outed all y'all niggas. He aired out all y'all negative bullshit. Y'all niggas out there trying to be on a fashion show with y'all corny asses. Up here flexing, flourishing. With all y'all different issues playing in everybody's face, right? This the communication. He outed y'all ass. Y'all owe $200,000 in back rent. Because y'all all on y'all bullshit, not doing what y'all supposed to do. King of Swords, that's that Gemini moon energy. And remember, it's money. It was a legal situation owing the money to the landlord. Look at the message. So he outed their asses. They hate him for that shit. That they had to boss up and come off that money. Y'all see that? So when you look at it from both sides, that's the messages on 50's side, right? He like, not only do I see y'all secrets, listen, when I say mind, head over motherfucking heart and emotions, this a cold-blooded Cancer, baby. Keep in mind, that King of Cups in reverse. He ain't in the upright. He in his feelings, but in a cup. Listen. Remember that song Jay-Z had? I ain't got no heart, I ain't got no patience. And I hate waiting. Oh, get your ass in and let me, yes, look at that. And look, this is also, I love Jay-Z. I mean, like I said, I am so disappointed in the stuff that he currently got going on. But I'm saying as far as him, as who he is, as an artist, who he is with the wordsmith, you know, and we in Sagittarius season, and I'm just thinking about all his words and his songs. Y'all can't not deny his talent, the truth. He is the GOAT of this. When I see this King of Swords and this devil, remember that old song? And look, and I'm thinking about it too. Wordsmith, King of Swords, right? And Biggie, Gemini, King of Swords, right? So, and Jay-Z, look, energy right there, King of Wands, is interesting together, right? And this is not going off the sidebar, but I'm showing you what the messages show. Remember the old song? I love it, that Biggie had with Jay-Z had with Biggie, and it was with Angela Winbridge or something. It was like, I love the dough more than you know. Remember that, y'all? And think about the bars. Like, think that's real rap. I don't know what this shit is today. But when you see the messages, remember how Jay-Z said, nigga, we play Monopoly with real cash. Y'all see? This is what Spirit just said, bye-bye. Because he sure called the landlord like, I think I'm going to buy me a podcast today. Toxic as hell playing with their asses. But he really wasn't playing, though. You see that? But this also represents them niggas, man. Ooh, they mad at him. And they thinking of ways that they gonna motherfucker come against him. Look, they coming up with a plan. They like, we got to get his ass. We got to get this nigga. The messages are here. And they in their mind. He got niggas all in their head like, how we gonna come at him? And you know where it gets interesting? He already see y'all coming. Look at the messages up there. Wands is about action. Pentacles is about strategy, strategic, and he got the bread, and he got the money to shut y'all bitch ass niggas down. Strength. He came in strong out the gate. I can't bake this shit up if I wanted to. Ain't this crazy? Four of Cups here. He got them motherfuckers in they feelings, baby. They mad at his ass. You hear me? They trying to come up with ways. They like, what way can we get to him? They all in their feels. Cups is about feelings, emotions, you know. But the thing is, he gonna continue to move forward. He gonna continue to be celebrating. This is victory. This is successful project. Invitation to, you know, more opportunity and more doors opening. More abundance. Look, successful projects. It's here in the messages. He like, I'm celebrating my wins on all y'all bitch niggas. Look at the messages. But this also represents 3 people in their feelings. Like, they had to come together, baby. They had to go have a sit down and a meeting and come to a mind. It took 3 people to get in their mind in enemy energy to come get your ass. So 50, just know, which he already know. You ain't even got to say nothing. It's in the messages. He see y'all coming. He know y'all plotting. But this is plotting and planning on him. And he see it coming. But guess what? When you look at 2 sides of the coin, he plotting and planning. So it's a 2-way street. Ain't that interesting? News will be coming out. We're going to hear messages, right? Might even hear one of them, you know, I guess you could say his ops, you know, in their feelings a little bit too, in a way. I think Marlon Wayans was like, I'm not even going to ever say that again. Said that when they asked him for change in the store, he didn't even say 50 out loud. He said, I ain't going to even say I got that. No change, no nothing. Now, y'all were beefing back and forth and you were with it a few days ago. But something 50 came up with Marlon, King of Wands, some that you don't want to come out. Look, something, messages of news that he came up with. You don't want that shit to be revealed. So you said, I'm going to pull back. He got it. I ain't going to beef with him. This is news coming out. Good news, more good news for 50, which we know that this documentary is successful. But he also got projects ahead that's in the works. That ain't nothing. That just was something that he worked on personal vendetta. Look, y'all see the reason why? Personal vendetta, right? You got that King of Pentacles in reverse. Somebody mad in a motherfucker. Ooh, when you see that King of Pentacles in reverse, I'm talking about this is like reckless, like hateful, like pissed, like jealous, like all the negative things you could think of. He got a motherfucker all in their feelings. You hear me? Look at that. This is about greed. This is about just like, man, they won't at him, baby. And we gonna hear more news, something that's gonna come out. But the crazy thing is he's already ready for y'all. He ready for all y'all ops. This is the Hangman. And this is treachery, failure, and defeat. That's deep. Because this was just me pulling from top of the deck, bottom of the deck. Sitting back. But when it's in reverse, it's about you off in a cut, indecision, but you got to watch for the cross. 50. You ready for him, but that Ten of Swords shows treachery at its best, defeat at its best. See how you got that one man and that one man? It's like they want you up out of here. These niggas hate you. Better you got to be. I see that you see it in your messages that you understand this, but you really need to understand. They might come down here like it's all good, but it ain't all good. Ain't that interesting? Be careful. I see him being careful, but really, really be careful. He got hate coming always. Let's pull these right here too real quick. Ooh, that's interesting, y'all. Ooh, these cards got deep, didn't they? Damn. Let's clear that deck. Ooh, I didn't expect to see that. I mean, you kind of did, but you kind of didn't. But it's interesting to see how it all plays out in the messages. We're going to pull some messy cards, but we ain't asked about Puffy, baby. Because he is next. Let's see. And look, we ain't even have to ask about them niggas in the ops. They all showed up in his messages. They want the smoke. They is seasoned. They can't stand him, baby. I hate is a strong word, but that's how they feel about him. They hate him. And they want to see him defeated. Y'all saw that Ten of Swords? They want his ass up out of here, Jack. Current energy. Current energy. What's the calm? What's the calm for him? That's a sun. That's a sun. That's a sun. All over a woman. Boy, that woman is bringing this shit. Bring some motherfucking nations. Bring the world to a fold, woman. Damn, baby. all the ops was right there. We ain't gotta ask how they feel. We saw this shit. Yeah, and that shit was there. Oh, they hate him bad. Gosh. Such a strong, nasty word, too. Ooh. Somebody might get hurt, baby. You know? Let's see. Same kind of cards coming out. It's interesting. Asking what's ahead and how he moving and thinking. This is 50. Look, celebrating his victory over the ops. His messages is clear through and through. Same message came out. And he is going to be celebrating wins. He got successful projects ahead. I'm sure plenty of events and, you know, parties. The holidays is here. So he'll be celebrating for the holidays coming up. Let me turn this heat off. Ain't that interesting, y'all? I hope, girl, y'all at home. It's early. But ain't that crazy? This is deep. So it is the holidays. He's clearly finna be celebrating wins. But that solar eclipse is here energy. So, you know, he got successful projects. Even, like I said, he working on them now. You saw that in the first set of cards that we just did. And so when you see that eclipse, and it's funny because we got a eclipse coming up, which in my astrology class, we did some of the major transits coming up for 2026. And it's kind of like a little baby, but not so much because every eclipse brings change, right? And that one is going to be in Aquarius right at the top. I forgot what the date is, but it's right at the top of the year between January and February, okay? But when you see this is about big changes coming. So more more successful projects, you know, within now the next 6 months. And remember, we under this auspicious new Sagittarius moon. So the energy is here, right? He is a catalyst for change. Because when he does things, did you see how that Knight of Pentacles? He do it with the utmost, like, he gets the job done, does it effectively, classy. Like, think about how he, you know, power all his projects. They're done right. It is what it is. But he is going to have transformation in his life on some level, okay? But new beginnings are here. All right. And I'm going to say this. When you see the catalyst for change, that's like a powerful energy, especially with this 3 of Cups celebrate, right? We may see within the next 6 months him do something very with tech. Remember, he that Gemini moon, but it's some form of investment that may even take him. You know, people say he might not be at billionaire status or, you know, whatever. Because when you Google they worked on the internet, to me, nothing ain't never what it seems. And one thing about 50 Cent, he's strategic. We see it in the cards, right? So he could very well already be a billionaire. You just don't know it. You just don't know it. But something about this, he's about to be a part of something or invest in something or something he got coming. Just watch out. Watch, we going to hear about it. Big changes are coming where it's going to be major. It's going to bring even much more wealth and power. Remember, Jupiter is in Cancer right now, and he's a Cancer sun. So more expansions and blessings on a whole nother level. Celebration is here. It's in the cards, and it was in his other cards, but this is the focal point. So strength and celebration. All right, so again, it's an imbalance in, you know, relationships. We know that. He got a lot of ops right now. A lot of people that feel away in their feelings. So it's definitely discord and imbalance in that energy. So that's, through and through. But this Queen of Swords is the pettiness of it all. He is petty, but he got that inner strength, baby. He is mentally strong. Remember I said he is cerebral and strategic and strong. Strength came in. But he petty as hell. So he's still finna be up to his. He ain't backing down. He don't care nothing about his ops. He finna be more petty. So don't be surprised. Remember that Page of Cups. More news of his pettiness and shit that he gonna be doing. That's not gonna change. The messages are here. 7 of Swords, right? Strategy. I keep saying that. Strategic. He see the betrayal. Because see, the Queen of Swords is right here, mentally strong. Right? And I don't know his love life, but if you want to look at it from that aspect, he diddle-daddle with a look, the love is there. And it's in reverse. That's, he deal with a little bit. He's still single. He not married, so he deal with more than one. So you can take the 7 of Swords like shit. I wouldn't necessarily say cheating in a sense, because we don't know what their, the pretenses or the grounds of their relationships, but he can do what he want to do. He moving around. He's celebrating and enjoying himself and having a nice time. You see that in the messages too, right? But he also see this energy, that false pretense. He looking at y'all like y'all niggas some cowards. But come on. I see the strategy. I see the play. I see the games coming. And he outed y'all. He showed that what y'all coming down to the internet is not what it seems. 7 of Coins. Listen. Good things. This is what he put work into. Remember I said this man got things coming ahead. And even in that aspect, the things that he's already built. Because when you see this traditional card of the 7 of Coins, it's looking at the fruits of your labor. See how the lady is pregnant and, about to give, and she's holding the fruit? And he's strategic in, business deals and getting things done. Whether it's op, business, or personal. But again, like I said, he's gonna see a whole nother harvest. We might see him publicly be big in that status. He might already be it though. But this is about more good investments, more blessings. These projects, more maybe movie, more creative projects. I mean, he can have his hands in a lot of different things, but they're going to definitely reap a harvest and come into fruition. This is also an ancestor card too, right? Spiritual work, right? In my opinion, spiritual work. So again, he's naturally intuitive. Remember I said that's a hidden superpower he has, and psychic. And, he may share with you that he's spiritual on some level, but it's something here about spiritual work. You may just don't know on what level he does it for himself, but it's here. It's in the messages. And we may even see him, experience a spiritual shift and elevation, personal shift, but for the better, because it's in the upright, right? This is the rewards of your labor. He's reaping a harvest. 9 of Coins next to the 6 of Coins. I'm telling you, something about his money expenditures. And Jupiter is in Cancer. Jupiter in Cancer is about expansion on a whole nother level. This man is beyond blessed. Blessings are here. Ace of Swords in the upright. New beginnings. And communication. It's going to be something communication-wise that's going to take him to the next level. I don't know, but you can see it in the messages, right? He like, shit, I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. He is in his, he on his shit. You hear me? Six of Coins is about giving and receiving. Balance. He take good care of his employees. He take good care of his business, right? You can even see that in the Seven of Coins, Six of Coins. He probably going to, again, celebrate, be giving out bonuses, celebrating them. This is probably, like I said, the side of him that y'all don't get to see, right? Giving back to the community a little bit. But he got some blessings coming in. It's like he got equal give and take, going in, going out. Now, the love situation might be a little different than the business and the day-to-day and, you know, friends, family, partnerships. Okay, because that part, he is doing his big one, right? Again, when news, Page of Wands, remember? I said this going to be a new path. He got new things coming. But this new thing is going to be huge, right? More clarity coming in. More spiritual and, you know, epiphanies that are going to awaken. This man has an amazing vision. Okay, I don't want to drag this on much longer because we probably already an hour just talking about his current energy. But it's powerful and it's interesting to see, right? He's all about, you know, this is the Eight of Cups. This is about walking away, moving on, you know, to new and letting things go. You know, when it comes to, again, Five of Swords energy. Remember, that's that conflict and fight. You got the enemies everywhere. But I'm going to tell you something. With it in this aspect, with that Page of Cups too, that was in that other card, that's interesting. Some of these people that he is, you know, not in the best, you know, some of his ops, you could say, are enemies. Some of them may make, you know, not all, because it's in the messages. But don't be surprised if we see him make amends with somebody. Maybe sometimes, you know, you got to fight it out to have a certain respect for one another. But in the interim of it all, you know, his mind is on so much more. I mean, so much more. This is like small, low vibrational shit, right? So in that energy, it's like he's not only prepared for the bullshit, but it's like he moves past it at a point, you know? But some people he may build. We might see him, they might come from enemies to friends, and that maybe you know, this had to happen to, you know, earn a certain respect for one another. You get what I'm saying? Y'all know how that goes. You understand what I mean, right? Which I know y'all do. So, let's do some messy cards right quick. And then, this will be a part 2. So, I'm going to, after we do these messy cards, I'm going to stop this. This is 50's current energy. Then we're going to come back and I'll do the part 2 with Puffy. Because we got to find out. We see the ops, we see the mess, we see the energy around the guys in the podcast. So it's not too much to ask there because they show up in 50's current energy, right? But we gotta ask about Puffy. And maybe I won't do. Let's just hurry up. Let's move, okay? Won't drag it out. Let's just ask how he feeling, which we could see in 50 cards. So we won't even do that. We just gonna ask, right? Clear it. Matter of fact, after I do this, let's do that, and then we're gonna ask about Puffy real quick. And we won't even drag him out. Like, we'll ask, you know, from one of the decks and do a 3-card pull. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how we'll do that. And then this will be the reading on them, okay? So let's ask. Let's do the messy, though. Wow, that's so crazy, right? So let's get these real quick. Y'all know we got to do these, okay? You know, that's why y'all be here with me, because y'all know I'm going to read that thing for y'all so I can see as best as I can and give y'all, you know, what the most truth that I can see through the cards. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. Let's pull. We'll just do like 3 and 3, you know? Let's just see what comes up. Okay. It didn't pop out. So 1, 2, 3. Let's see this for Curtis Jackson. 50%. Yeah, let's see. I think the Spirit 2 came out, right? There you go. Okay. So we got that messages. Let's pull this one. And we'll do a quick energy on Puffy. We won't drag it out because we know what's up. I mean, we just need to see what's his current energy and, you know, like what's ahead. Because I can, even when I've done my messages, go back on Puffy. You know, he gonna end up getting up out of there early. I know people don't want to hear that, but it was in the messages early. So I was like, I can't go back and forth with people. He ain't gonna do all that. It's just what it is, you know. But we finna check and see, you know. Wow, that just popped out. 3. Okay. There we go. Okay, so that's his messages, right? Okay, and let's do these. Let's just do like 3. And we're gonna ask about Puff. That's crazy. What you got going on, Mr. Jackson Spirit? 3, please. Curtis Jackson. Thank you, Spirit. 1 to 3. 2. Down. Kind of get the same messages a lot. Guess everybody kind of go through the same cycles, ups and downs, you know? All right, so we're going to ask about Mr. Combs, so we're going to make sure we put all those together. So let's look. Let's unpack. No order, just messages, right? For 50. On blast. Don't these cards be funny? Y'all hope y'all be at home. I know y'all be falling out on the floor laughing, right? Out in personal info, being called out, public humiliation. I think it's safe to say that's what's going on, right? Ain't that what the deal is in the current energy? Lift off, fast action, progression forward. The wait is over. Remember I said he got some shit coming out, some projects, some things. Cloud 9, emotional fulfillment, expectations met, ecstatic. Didn't I say he looking good, feeling good? Cloud 9, that was that 9 of Pentacles. I said success, strength, blessings. You can't make the messages up. Look, keeping it 100, honesty, showing true colors, transparent intentions. Wow, and that's what he do. That's what pisses people off, right? Hands off, territorial lovers, staking claims, scaring off the competition. Well, we know he stand on business and shook all them niggas off. So ain't that funny, y'all, on the cards? That's crazy, right? All right, so let's get into these. This is crazy as hell, right? Look, receive, open. Look, he got blessings coming. I said that. That's his pentacles. Feminine. Something about the woman, right? Toxicity, bound, and patterns. We saw that in the devil energy, right? Until death tear us apart. Contracts, career, commitments. Saturn, right? Ain't that what it is? He told them folks, y'all better pay that rent or I'm going to be owning that podcast. Made them come up with that $200,000, right? He's going to buy the building. Truth, expression coming out, right? True. Nurture and compassion. I said he's going to be giving out some things and celebrating some things. So this is accurate. Ain't that crazy? The messages be truthful and factual. You can't make them up, soul family, right? Wake up call. I said at some point you're going to have a spiritual awakening, didn't I? Spiritual awakening, sudden clarity, urgent awareness, can't ignore it anymore. He's ascending. He got really a lot of blessings come. Remember I said with the lovers in reverse, sneaky link, hidden encounters, private meetings, discreet intimacy. Nobody needs to know. And he is private about his love life. But remember I said he doing some things. And it was in reverse. I said he got more than one thing going on. Okay, with that Seven of Swords, that's that cheating, sneaky link energy, right? So there it is too in his personal relationships. All right? Trust the signs, follow the guidance, paying attention to the guidance, universe speaking clearly, following intuition, messages received. Remember I said he got Ace of Swords through and through, baby. His mind is way up in the crowds. He's very cerebral, very aware. He paying attention to the fullest. Two-faced, say one thing, does another. Betrayal behind kindness, pretends loyalty, trust carefully. Remember we saw that in the betrayal energy in them 10 of Swords. I said the ops from the north, south, east, and west. So these niggas trying to figure out how they gonna play a game. Remember I said they try to put a strategy to get him to take him down. So he get it. Secret admirer, look, another sneaky link energy, hidden affection, anonymous notes, unknown interest, someone's watching, baby. And look, he called them niggas out for fake flexing. You see that? Pretending wealth, showing off, borrowed luxury, deceptive bragging, rich on Instagram and broke in real life. You know where I'm finna go, y'all. Ain't this shit funny? And ain't that what he called them out for on the podcast? I can't make it up. Remember, divine intervention, unexpected guidance, universe stepping in, redirected paths, saved just in time. So even with that 10 of Swords energy, remember I said that 7 of Pentacles spiritual work. His ancestors around. He got heavy, strong, ancestral energy and covering around him, okay? So that is on Mr. Jackson, Curtis. Let's do a quick energy pull because we done went. It's already, I see, an hour. Let's pull on Puffy and we're going to add the messy cards with it too real quick. We'll just do we'll do a 1 to 3, 1 to 3, okay? I'm going to do them all in a line, all right? So we can move on and close this reading out. And I'll be doing the next one for y'all, okay? So shine, calm. Let's see what his current energy. Because we know he pissed about this document, including the baby, right? Christian. So let's see. We're going to pull them all. I'm going to sit those right there and let's just pull. Let's clear the deck real quick. I'm going to try to move and don't take it long. So let's clear it out. And this is Puffy energy because we could see everybody else's. It was in the messages. Right? with Puffy. Shine, calm, spirit. These two. It's current energy for Mr. Combs. Puffy. Energy on Puffy. Come on now. Interesting. Shine, Combs. Damn. I wanted to turn. I saw it. Okay. Let's see. I'll do 1, 2, 3. All of them came out right. Extra, so let's slide them this way. Damn, that's interesting. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, right? How did I flip them? That was weird, right? Okay, so we do it like that. We'll take from the front and the bottom, right? And then we'll say, let's just add, since he got to get the full, we're just going to go with what Spirit's moving with, okay? Shine, calm, shine, calm, shine, calm. Puppy. Shine, okay. Still ain't gonna pop out, so let's just do it. Shine, palms. Let's do this video. Copy. Shine, palms. It's a new deck, so I was like, ooh. Trying to navigate them because they slippery. There we go. Okay. Okay, you're gonna take them two, and that's the extra. So 2 kind of extra, the focal point, okay? Let's see. I'm gonna, remember I said I'm gonna slide these because it's kind of, they new, so it's hard for me to flip them. Damn. So I'm not gonna move, but I'm gonna, okay? Y'all see that? There we go, okay? All right. Damn. Okay. Let's see. Let's unpack quick as we can. Oh, Mr. Sean comes. Okay. All right. So let's unpack. And let me go as quick as I can. So I see we over an hour. So, Mr. Combs. Whew. He is dealing with all of the backlash, his resources, of course we know, he is locked up in Fort Dix, so this is the stagnation of it all. But this is, remember, his Venus house is blessing, so Empress energy is, about his resources taking a huge hit at this time, even his reputation, his abundance, his legacy, all of that is up in arms, has been for quite some time, but the messages are here, with that documentary, even implementing even more highlights on his relationships with women, how he's treated the women, and I mean, it's here. Look at the messages. Page of Swords in reverse, the negative backlash in the news in regards to this documentary and the fact that he hates it, okay? And, he on his shit too, as far as how he looking at making a decision to move forward. And if you can look at this one or two ways, this also represents that baby mama. He like, all this shit for this Jane Doe bitch. So more negative legal news and all of that, dealing with him supposed to be suing, Netflix. You see it? It's all in these messages right here in that top portion, right? Page of Wands, he locked up, but this is just the conflict of it all. The news, the negative news, the backlash of this creative project that's number one right now about him and his legacy. You see that? Page and page. Can't make it up. The messages are here. Knight of Swords. He just feel like this shit was just fucked up how 50 did this. And he is pissed off about it. He is on his best bullshit with this Knight of Swords next to this King of Pentacles. He is up to something. It does not matter if he is locked up or held down. Even his energy, we know he ain't, free. He in Fort Dix. But, baby, he making some plans because I'm talking about he don't like that shit on no type of level. So, not only is he going, he trying to figure out legal ways of stopping it and getting it done. He is, he on demon time right now against 50. So, the messages are here. There they go right there. He with the bullshit. Do you hear me? He with it. And he just in his feelings about this shit. Like, man, he hate that he locked up right now. But he is coming up with a plan behind them bars, baby. He gonna give him some get back. I mean, it's right here. You hear me? And this is his legacy. King of Pentacles, that's your legacy in reverse. Your money, your your finances, all what you built. You like this nigga, you gonna come down me even and affect my money even more with this shit you done put out, this negative in his mind documentary. Look, the focal point, the moon in reverse. So this is the documentary with more secrets, more messages, more truths or false. It don't matter. Coming out right now in real time, right? Can't make the messages up. Wow, that's the focal point. And look, he in there mad that he locked up. Look at the stress that done bringing upon him. He in there like, man. He angry and upset and in his feelings about this shit. He is pissed off. He is, He is mad as hell, y'all. Look at the fight. Look at the conflict. Fight done already happened, but he won't. I'm talking about, baby. He want all the smoke. You hear me? And look, it's like he gonna figure out a way. One thing about Puffy, he is determined. Y'all see he locked up, but he is determined to fight. It's a fight. He gonna fight for his legacy. He gonna fight for his money. It's in the messages. He gonna fight. He gonna fight you 50 op. He coming. He don't care about being locked up. He with it. Look, more messages. More negative news when it comes to his money. Tower moment. This is a tower moment. He wasn't looking for this documentary. It just kind of just boom. It's out there. Look at the messages. Making him take more negative hits. Ooh, he mad as fuck. You hear me, y'all? He is with the shit and he coming up with a plan. 50 is aware and he paying attention. I'm sure he, got his security and all that situated, on lock, all the things, right? Because you saw that 10 of Swords there, all right? And that is the energy that Puffy is in towards 50, all right? Let's clear the deck and let's ask, what's ahead for him? Because we see the current energy, right? What's ahead for Puffy? We're going to clear this. And then we're going to pull some messy cards and get on up out of here. Let's see what's ahead for him. You know, we'll even ask is he gonna come home early, okay? So. Sean Combs, Scorpio, Sun. Okay, so that automatically came out, so we're gonna take it. Damn. Man, in the upright. Okay. Yeah, for this man. Good. Thank you. We're gonna take it. Oh, it came right out, didn't it? Sorry about that, soul family. The damn my alarm clock went off. I was trying not to go over the hour, but we here. Let me see. Shine, calm. There we go. All right. We asking is he gonna come home early and all that. So let's see. Some of these messages already came out just how they are, right? So what's ahead for him and his energy? Mr. Combs. Okay, so, you know, again, 7 of coins is here for him. And, you know, it's about good things take time. And I know nobody don't want to hear nothing good when it comes to Puffy, but, you know, in the next 7 months, y'all could see him get on up out of there possibly. You know, the magician is next to him. That's resourceful creator, manifester, but also spiritual work, you know. So, I mean, even in the energy of his current energy that you saw, you know, he angry, but he's also, the messages are here right now. You know, he putting in the work to make reparations to get up out that, out of there, all right? And he will address 50. It's, you know, only thing is, it just wasn't no good energy around it. And I always have to be honest with y'all. So, you know, let's just be, you know, as positive as we can. Because I don't know how that outcome gonna look. You know, 50 had that 10 of swords sitting there. And this man is, let me tell you something. He is mad as a motherfucker. Ain't no other way to describe it, okay? And he is gonna see him. And Puffy, as we could see, he could be a whole lot of things, but we know he with the shits too, okay? We gonna always keep it a buck. You know, that Knight of Cups is in, you know, reverse because he pissed right now at what's going on. And he don't like that documentary. He ain't feeling none of that shit, okay? But it's a possibility we're gonna see him get on up out of there. Look, he got 7 and 7, 7 of swords. He figuring out a way, man. He is coming up with a way to get back at 50. Okay. 7 and 7, though. That's the even, you know, more than one time here. And look, the Ace of Cups is in the upright. And let me tell you something about Puffy. This 7 of Swords, he might be a low down dirty nigga, whatever you want to call him with the 7 of Swords. But again, a lot of times 7 of Swords is about strategy. So just like 50 on his strategy, Puffy is behind. Y'all saw him locked up. The messages were in the cards. He's coming up with a strategy. But let me tell you something. He got some auspicious cards. You know, with that Ace of Cups coming right here, switching up the strategy, he gonna come home sooner than what they have, you know, set out for him next year. And we already into next year, just a few more weeks, y'all. Can y'all believe it? We done, you know, closing out this 9-cycle year. Look, Queen of Swords is here. That's that legal, but that Ace of Cups right there, and it's in the upright, okay? He's so grateful. He's gonna be so glad to get the fuck up out of there. All right. And listen, he has got his mind on his money and his strategy and what his next moves are. And he's also putting some things together behind the scenes to create more resources and money as well. Remember, he owns a lot of stuff that people don't know. He owns a portion of Twitter. He owns a X or whatever. It's a lot of stuff. You know, what you call that when people don't know your name on it, but your name on it? So the messages are here too. Yeah, he might be... like in his current energy cards, you know, a lot of resources going out, a lot of money going out. But look, magician is here, resourceful creator, okay? Even on his most down and out moments, Knight of Cups, right? Feeling upset about everything, disappointed, you know, feeling like in certain places he may feel like he is restricted. But baby, this one right here, he quickly removes that energy and comes straight to willpower, you know, and resourceful. He will bounce back. Remember, Pluto, endings regenerate, bring new beginnings, okay? The Star card is here. Yeah, he is in his energy, you know, it's low. Who wouldn't feel like that, you know? It's in the holidays. He used to celebrate huge, beautiful holidays. So in his feelings about that as well. Okay, Knight of Cups in reverse, the Star card in reverse, right? Missing your family, you know, all of that. Grateful. Believe it or not, he's grateful through all of this and how people feel like he's done people and all the things, but still in another instance, you know, missing how he's able to move around, his freedom to do things and celebrate and all of that, okay? The Eight of Cups is here, so walking away, he's going to be getting up out of there. Release. The World card. He walks away. He goes home. He going to get on up out of there early. This is a new cycle. He going to move on. Closure. He's seeking it, but it's coming. Because the Six of Cups are here, and he's remembering the past, you know, thinking about, like I said, his family, the children, could even be, you know, with Kim. And it is about loss with that. Because the Ten of Swords is here again, and think about both of them got the same message, the ending card. That's deep. Y'all see that? But his is in reverse. And remember I said he's going to make a comeback. Regeneration, changing the outcome. He's thinking about what he could have done differently even in his past relationships, love relationships, all the things. Six of Cups, remembering the past and moving forward to change the outcome. Regeneration, making a comeback, repair. So he's going to be moving on, even though right now but he's seeking closure and everything, trying to right his wrongs, what he wrote off at and fucked up. But he going to come up out of there early, y'all. The Three of Swords is here. That's the grief he feeling, you know, the sorrow, heartbreak. He hated it. I'm telling you, everything about that documentary, everything, he hate that shit. He hate it. But he gonna come on up out of there, and he gonna get out of there before the time that they say. And it looks like it'll be quietly too. Like he might already be home when he get up out of there, and y'all don't even know he already done exited the building. Just cause they know how the press gonna do, and do so. They understand the assignment now, and they're gonna move in an energy of where he might already get up out of there and y'all don't even know he out of there until y'all eventually see that he out of there. It just come up. You get what I'm saying? It'll just kind of ease in because it's in the messages, you know? So don't be surprised if y'all see that happen, okay? So let's clean it up. We'll just do 1 to 3 and we're going to get up out of here, okay? Diddy. Okay? Let's do it. Let's see what come up for Mr. Combs. Shine Combs. Oh, damn. All right, we're just gonna take that, all right? Cause it's just too, it's a whole conglomerate came out, right? Thank y'all for riding with me. I love y'all. Y'all be, you know, y'all make my day. I'm thankful y'all be tapping in, listening to your girl. I appreciate y'all, soul family. I really do. And for the ones that be coming over here on my page talking shit, let me tell you something. One thing about me, I'm a peaceful person. I love my soul family, my soul tribe. Y'all my family that I, you know, it's like I can't see, but we locked in, right? But for them motherfuckers that come over here on that bullshit and think you gonna come on my page and be disrespectful, let me tell you something. I am real sweet, but I will, let me tell you something. I will, this ain't, you don't want that, okay? Because I will, ooh, girl, my mouth is fucked up. I'm telling you. All I can say is, Ola Damari is good, and I come from a mighty long way, okay? I will hurt your motherfucking feelings, I promise you. Man, what the fuck you want? On the fuck shit. If they know Tia Kemp will get with your motherfucking ass, well, guess what? I'm right here in the ATL. I'm with the bullshit, too. I'm telling you. Don't come to my page on that bullshit, because you will get your motherfucking feelings hurt, okay? I seen somebody say some shit about me being trash or something for, what was it? I think it was a Krishan Rock reading. Girl, I'm not here to judge. But you motherfucking trash for co-signing that shit. How about that, bitch? Because anybody who sit there and co-sign that foolishness is crazy as hell. On every fucking level, okay? Seriously. There's no judgment. Nobody can judge, but let me tell you something. If you got time to goddamn be a professional surfer today and a motherfucking professional boxer tomorrow, then bitch, you need to put some energy in being a professional mom, okay? The fuck you mean? The children matter. How about that? We know we gotta take care of our children now. The fuck? Come on now. Mom, stand up out there. My mamas. We go through enough shit, don't we all? Scorpio sun. You know what I mean? We know what we go through. Because we a mama, baby. And even shout out to the mamas who taking care of, because mama don't mean you had to just give birth. What about the ones that still take care of, you know, however way they come? We take care of them and we get the job done. And it be some tough shit going on, don't it, baby? But we do it, right? We do it. I'm going to take that because all that go with him. All right, so let's do this and close out, soul family. No, I love y'all. So in no correct order, let's see what's up. Bossing up. I told you he got some shit coming too, Puffy. Self-empowerment, independently living, leading the pack. So he in there also teaching them folks some shit in that thing. One thing about it, you can't, you know, you don't got to like people, but the truth be the truth, you know. And he is, you know, a mastermind, and, you know, he understands business. You don't get to be billionaire by, you know, not being successful and be a mastermind and getting it done, right? Petty, immature, small-minded, insignificant drama. We know it. We know it. And then I say he is with the shit right now. That was that Night of Swords in reverse, okay? Make-believe, fantasy, feeding into illusions, disappointment. We know he's feeling some disappointment, okay? Siren call, sexual tactics, gaining attention, lured temptation. 50 need to watch out, because let me say this. When that Seven of Swords, that could be energy of that. He could send somebody to distract 50. He ain't got to be no nigga. Right? Look at that illusions and siren. And look, petty energy is there. Remember, the Seven of Swords is about changing the strategy, sneaky shit, right? So he may be behind the scenes sending somebody over there sneaky to get up on 50. So watch what I say, y'all. My messages ain't never wrong, right? Sorry, not sorry. Look, he unremorseful, avoiding accountability, neglecting responsibility. Well, I think that's safe to say about him, right? Shook, plot twist, unexpected events, sudden change. The Tower card was there, remember, in his messages that he did experience, and it did shake him. It's like, damn, what else gonna come out? That was unexpected, but he kind of expected it, but it shook him up, right? Because he was like, how the fuck they get their hands on all that information about me, right? That's in the messages. Spilling the beans, revealing the secrets, cats out the bag, untrustworthy. And that's what's happened. That's what came out, right? SOS, distress, act with urgency, assistance needed. And the Ten of Swords came out both ways for both men, okay? So we ain't even got to elaborate. I think y'all understand at the house just like I understand, right? All right, so let's get into these and see what comes out. Decisions need to be made. Truth and expression coming out. Vanity and pride and ego. We know Puffy got that, right? Self-worth and expectations. He's questioning it and all that. But remember I said, it's wintertime, and right now he is doing what? Regenerating. Rebirth is here. He will get out, and he is going to make a comeback, whether you like it or not. What that song say? I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. That's the energy he in, baby. Don't take out the messenger. I'm just reading the messages, all right? Inner child, healing childhood wounds, reconnecting with joy, playfulness restored, return to innocence. Remember, that was the Six of Cups energy he had, right? Messages right there in the cards. Real, fake, commitment issues, afraid to settle down, avoiding intimacy, fear of loss of freedom. It's complicated. Okay, so this could, determine, because, he's still dealing with folks in there. Man, woman, whatever. We don't know, but it's happening. Brand new, fresh beginnings, reinventing yourself, new ventures, watch me shine. Didn't I say he gonna rebirth, make a comeback, and regenerate? I can't make the messages up. You can't. They be right there. So blind date, surprise meeting, unexpected chemistry, awkward introductions, could be love or disaster. 50 better watch out. I'm telling you, watch out. Lesson learned, life lessons, wisdom gained, completing cycles, growth through experience. I'm wiser now, okay? So interestingly enough, through all the bullshit, lessons are learned for him, okay? Side hustle. Remember I said he got some other things in the works. And remember I said he owned a lot of other businesses that bring in income that y'all don't necessarily know about. So even though he might got a lot of money going out being drained, still money coming in. Multiple incomes. You see that? Extra earnings, financial security, always on my grind. And we know he always on his grind. And look, he gonna always hold that bag. Retirement goals, long-term stability, future planning, relaxation earned, living the dream. So he will be coming home soon. Look at that, y'all. And he gonna get back to what he know best. But I don't know about the outcome with him and 50 because the energy is very much treacherous. Ending card for both was Ten of Swords. So need I say let me not hold y'all any further. I love y'all, soul family. Listen, keep those notification bells on. I'm going to put out about 2 more celebrity reads and look out for y'all new moon readings today. Happy new moon in Sagittarius, okay? I love y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace and love, soul family. I'll see you guys soon and in the next one, all right? Peace and love. Thanks for watching The Common Corner Show. Peace and love, soul family. And I'll see you guys in the next one.